On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Hey, Rilla, you're wrong on this bit. We're wrong on this point because of this. Like, is I
Yeah,
don't.
you
Embracing
can,
controversy
yeah,
don't necessarily have to
move
result
on.
in an argument.
Exactly.
You can
That's what
have
I
Yeah,
wasn't
civil
saying it at
discourse,
all.
right?
you
You
can
can
have a
have a
conversation.
civil discourse. I see people have civil discourse all the time.
Hmm.
Let me equate it like this, right?
Mhm.
If you're in a relationship and you never want to have the conversation, and the only thing you ever want to do is just be quiet because you just want it to go away, you never really make the issue go away. You just prolong it. And so at some point, you're going to have to address what the problem is, or you're going to continue to have to face that same problem over and over again. And so I don't believe that the solution, and again, that don't mean that you necessarily got to be throwing pots and pans at each other's heads, right? But I don't believe that the solution is just to stay on the fence or to be safe, because safe creates an environment that ultimately becomes toxic for you because you don't take a position one way or another. Passionate about something, and when they stay away from addressing it specifically, I think that they are making a concerted effort to be safe, for whatever reason, right? And people got their different reasons, but absolutely. And you can tell when certain people get on this panel every single night, right? When certain subjects come up, their eyes light up and they get passionate about it or whatever, so on and so forth. And you can tell. And so when people make an effort to avoid certain things that they may be passionate about, they are playing it safe. That's exactly what it is. Whether they don't want to royal things or whether they want to act like they don't care, we all care about something and we all passionate about something. And when you stay on the sidelines, you largely remove your voice and to a larger extent, even your vote from being able to even have an impact on what goes on in society. Absolutely, you are making a concerted effort to be safe.
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
I don't feel it's being always safe. I feel like, I'm gonna say my opinion. If they don't agree, then I'm not about to shove it down y'all's throat. Just like y'all say all women should hold women accountable. No, I don't as the beginning of time, I said no, I'm not here for that. Why do I need to, if I say my opinion and they say theirs and they're stuck in their opinion regardless who, like it's not my job. Like I'm not playing them safe. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not wasting my breath. That's just, I don't see it as playing it safe. It's like, no, it's a time and place. And people are not in my circle. I don't need to waste my time on that. So I
But it's
don't
not
see it as
always about having conversations. It could be how you spend your money. It could be how you spend your money. It could be how you vote. It could be the group of people that you then align yourself or divest yourself from spending time around in order to embrace, or to determine whether or not you embrace in a certain level of controversy or not. The actions speak just as loud as the words, in my opinion. A lot of people talk and then they don't do anything.
that's why I say it's half. It's half and half. It's not always playing safe. I ain't wasting my breath going back and forth. If me and Logic disagree, I'm not about to go back and forth with him. Why? Like, no, I'm good on that. For like we can hear each other's point, but I said my point, he's stuck in his point. We already know he's stuck on his point in general. He's so I that's just how I am. Like I just yeah, that's all.
Some people are passionate about their peace. Like it,
Fact.
you don't necessarily have to, be controversial or embrace controversy in order to not be playing like or to be I don't know, I just don't see how not embracing it means that you're making a conservative effort to be safe.
Mhm.
One reason being because everyone has different personality types. Chicago Rilla, he spoke to like introverts versus extroverts earlier, right? So that's one thing. That's one, you know, that's one level of this, right? Then there's the other side, which is like sometimes like Island Gal Q said, you may not necessarily feel the need to exert that energy into convincing someone to believe what you believe. Like not everyone's gonna want to shove something down your throat. Like either you get it, it's like if you know, you know. Like either you align with that belief or you don't. And some people don't have that duty in them or that
Okay.
driving them.
Anybody else want to chime in on this?
Someone else.
Well, let me, because I kind of see a difference and a little bit about what Anton was saying. So in general, I don't necessarily believe if you're just out and about, just having random conversations, that you have to embrace controversy because you want to have a conservative effort to be safe. However, I do think it's a difference when you are literally on a platform to do that. So if you're on a platform to embrace the controversy, you're getting paid to embrace the controversy, and you don't try to be having a conservative, that's a problem. In your real life, I can get it. But if you're on a platform for you to debate, for you to go back and forth on controversial issues, and you don't.
I mean, I didn't know this was a debate show, though.
Well, it's a let's have the conversation. It's about discussing.
Yeah,
so it's going back and forth.
True.
So if you're not doing that, then what is your purpose on a platform to do that?
I mean, it's let's have the conversation, not argue with each other. And I'm not here for that. I'm not here to go back and forth with people that are stuck in their mindset or want to shout and scream and then cut people off completely. So I'm here to have the conversation. If you can't talk to me like an adult, I don't need to talk to you. That's just plain and simple.
I wasn't talking about you.
No, I know, but I'm just answering your question. Why am I here? Why are people here for if they do that? I'm answering why, because some people are not going to go back and forth. Like I can disagree with any of these gentlemen like I've done before and just be like, no, Anton, you're wrong. Your daughter, you would not disown your daughter. No, I don't communicate like that. I communicate effectively.
Okay.
Well, we all communicate different though. But I'm just explaining.
And so I'm talking about embracing the controversy.
Telling people no.
Right. Well, hold on, because I'm not saying that you should be fighting back and forth. That's not what I said. I'm answering the question.
Why does argument have
let me finish. So what I'm saying is embracing the controversy. What I'm saying is that we're on a platform to do that. We're on a platform to go and talk about controversial topics. That's why it's entertaining. That's why people want to know, well, what do you think? What does she think? What does he think? Mm-hmm. So this is the platform. So I understand not doing it in regular life because sometimes you just don't feel like have the energy. However, you're on here to do it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to do it and you want to be conservative, then this ain't the place for you. That's what I was saying.
But even though we state our opinion and let it ride, is that conservative, even though I state my opinion? Or do I need to have a going back forth with, hey, Rilla, you're wrong on this bit. We're wrong on this point because of this. Like,
embracing controversy don't necessarily have to result in an argument.
Exactly.
That's not civil discourse, at all. Right? You can have a civil discourse. I see people have civil discourse all the time. Mm-hmm. Let me equate it like this, right? Mm-hmm. If you're in a relationship and you never want to have the conversation and the only thing you ever want to do is just be quiet because you just want it to go away, you never really make the issue go away. You just prolong it. And so at some point, you're going to have to address what the problem is, or you're going to continue to have to face that same problem over and over again. And so I don't believe that the solution, and again, that don't mean that you necessarily got to be throwing pots and pans at each other's heads, right? But I don't believe that the solution is just to stay on the fence or to be safe, because safe creates an environment that ultimately becomes toxic for you because you don't take a position one way or another.